This is Lord Ben.
Greetings, Lord Ben.
He's an ambitious but unfathomably incompetent lord. But in the coming months or years, everything is about to change for him. Ever since the King of England was kidnapped, he has been dreaming of taking over the country. He will stop at nothing, acceptable casualties, siding with CIA, countless Pyrrhic victories, and even establishing the medieval IRS. The country currently is divided between four tyrants: the rat, snake, the wolf, and your mother. Due to our incompetence, we need Sir Longa, a war veteran with extensive military experience, and Lord Wolsak, a Redditor. These two will help us carve our way through the country. You could also perhaps help guide us and leave a comment about your favorite tactics. Anyway, our first order of business is to set up a small base. We had to gather some food, which was going well, until we realized we've built in the wolf territory.
Your time on this earth is limited.
Not that wolf, like actual canines. So, for the time being, in typical human fashion, we had to endanger a species. I achieved that by using my latest defensive tactic, the civilian meat shield. So how does that work? You bait your target into the fire pit, and while they're busy mowing down unarmed peasants, you will pelt them with arrows. Nice. While we were in the process of our wolf genocide, we were spotted by some of the rats patrols. Thankfully, we got rid of them before they snitched on us. Though I can't shake the feeling we'll probably see them again. So, with the wolves completely extinct, Lord Ben has acquired some new territory. Progress. However, the scribe refused to stop moaning about wood.
Wood needed, my lord. Wood needed. More wood is needed. Wood stocks are too low, sire. Not enough wood, my lord.
Anyway, we started marching towards the Rat's kingdom. For the time being, we decided to fully focus our food production on cheese. One small issue with relying on one food source is if something goes wrong, you're getting yourself a famine.
Our cows are struck down by a strange malady, my lord.
And as it turned out, our cows actually got sick. So now, we are starving. In the meantime, we fortified the keep and we added an airlock. But the rat soldiers proceeded to simply ignore. We successfully acquired a new piece of land. Unfortunately, we've been detected. It was at this point that Lord Ben came across some photos, which inspired him. So now, our food production will be based on bread instead of cheese. On a side note, I genuinely love the bread pipeline. Every type of food, you just set up a building and you forget about it, except for bread. So I have to build the wheat farm, which takes wheat to the stockpile. Then you build a mill, which takes the wheat from the stockpile and turns it to flour. Then you have to build a bakery to take the flour from the stockpile and turn it into bread. You need 3 separate buildings, and somehow it is more efficient than every other food source. I don't know of any other game that has similar mechanics. Anyway, back to the video. We were holding firm against the rat's men until he brought the catapults. They smudged our wooden walls just how you're going to smudge that like that. I can't fucking believe I just said that. Fuck. Anyway, we were forced to employ our advanced strategy of the civilian meat shield, while the lord himself was fighting with some of his archers. We successfully defended. More progress. The rat actually came in contact and offered us a truce. Honestly, the guy named Rat is definitely someone to be trusted.
Duke de Pouce wishes to meet us in this valley surrounded by cliffs. It looks like someone has moved some of the boulders to the edge of the cliff.
Lord Ben and his men were stuck. We couldn't retreat, and unfortunately for the Rat's men, they were the path of least resistance.
I have a tale from days long gone of the scrawny rat who told a lie. The rebels saw his plans undone, and arrows rained down from on high. Run, run was his soldiers' wail, as death from above continued to hail. For the rat, the end is nigh. On his knees for mercy we'll hear him cry.
Apparently, us dunking on the Rat's men got some people rebelling against him. This guy named Lord Mannequin is revolting, and he's getting siege, so obviously we were gonna help out. Upon arriving, Lord Ben immediately gets cut down. Upon arriving a second time, more carefully this time, he realized that he had an army of spearmen with him. After repelling the initial attack and mending the castle, his men had no chance of reaching. Also, on side note, I love how the ladder men die after you push the ladder. That's genuinely the funniest animation ever. Moving on, we managed to strike a deal with the snake. Ale for troops, good deal, and we had to introduce our people to fear. No, not that fear. Anyway, if you place slaughter devices around your kingdom, apparently that boosts the efficiency at the cost of popularity. It's fine, we can negate that with alcohol. Yes, we will be feeding them the snake's ale. It's fine, it will work out in the end. I think. One other thing, fear factor also negatively affects your soldiers' damage. We had to keep that in mind. After a while, we got our ale and we shipped it off with the snake. The snake sent us reinforcements and I just proceeded to lock them outside of the castle because honestly at this point I just expected them to turn on us immediately. And we got our final battle. The snake's man got completely wiped out. Oops. I immediately replaced the negative buildings with positive buildings to negate the damage loss. Alright, time to put pest control on him.
Things are going well, aren't they? Yes, I think they are, must be,
Somehow, some of our men actually managed to take his castle, so instead of us going on the offensive, we're just defending against the rat and his men. During the battle, Lord Ben decided to participate and boost his KD. Somehow, in the middle of all the goons that were getting killed, the rat was also there. I guess he also wanted to boost his KD. Anyway, we managed to kill him and we secured another county. However, unlucky for us, the man named the Snake backstabbed us and took some of our counties for himself. I didn't see that coming.
A message from the snake. Presently, swiftly, I shall be upon you.
It's snaking time. So, we used air for popularity earlier. Now, we're gonna use religion. So, we have to grow our population while blessing 75% of them. Lord Ben came up with this brilliant idea. He focused on religion, got it to 75%, then immediately fired all his soldiers. The idea worked flawlessly. However, we're a bit too close to your mom now. A bit too ambitious for the time being. We managed to get a hold of some iron, and as a result, we can now recruit macemen. On a side note, is it just me or do the macemen look like the North FC meme? Anyway, the war's men were clad in plate armor. There was no way in hell our archers were gonna do anything to them. So, in his desperation, Lord Ben claims that the wolf wants to turn England into a communist state. And almost immediately, a hooded, albeit slightly glowing figure appeared and gave us the blueprint for a high capacity assault bow. Nice. The swordsman stood no chance against the crossbowman. We got out of there, while somehow gaining new territory. While we were away, Lord Sark was apparently captured and killed by the pig.
Oh no! Anyway,
Here Longham starts yapping about raising gold for the king. I guess we do need some money for our future kingdom. So, Lord Ben gets to it. So, before the gold collection starts, let's get something straight. You don't ask a woman her age, you don't ask a man his salary, and you don't ask me about mission 12. No, seriously, I just sort of went AFK and just let the IRS do his job. I basically just built a spawn camping wall and I just left. Anyway, now it was time to cut off the snake's head. So, this is our first siege. We had to use everything we learned so far. The breadlines, the IRS, and the CIA tactics. In no time we had a massive army. We had all sorts of troops, including some portable shields. Oh, hello there opposing army, enjoy your raid. Thankfully, we left a bunch of spearmen behind to stall them while we murdered the snake.
what's wrong? Snake! Snake!
Snake is dead. Now, I'm gonna go after your model. In game, of course. I already bugged it in real life.
A message from the pig.
Come on, England! Score some fucking goals!
So, our CIA handler offers us some new toys. An oversized, tower-mounted crossbow. Nice. Lord Ben was most pleased with this. So, we posted up near the borders with a bunch of crossbowmen and some ballistas. I had a bunch of macemen take care of any siege equipment that showed up. Meanwhile, everyone else got vaporized by my ranged units. Despite successfully defending against the pig, we still had to retreat. Unlucky for us, the only way was through his castle, which was poorly defended right now. It should be an easy mission, right?
Fucking thing over and over again. Becker, shit to change. That is crazy.
Yeah, no, seriously, whoever designed this mission is a cruel person. You have to lay siege to a castle with no siege equipment with the exception of a shitty battering ram. Not only that, your army is compromised of units that die in one hit to ranged units. And to top all of that off, you have a time. Yeah, you have to kill everyone in a timer. I guess this is how the rat was feeling. After losing a few years of his lifespan, Lord Ben successfully took over the castle and managed to get away. We finally managed to meet our CIA handler in person. He gave us some new tech, pitch ditches. Place them around your castle and set them on fire when necessary. War crime time. We were tasked with collecting stone. To achieve that, we simply built a base around the stone quarries because the pigs men are addicted to destroying your buildings. Afterwards, Lord Ben came up with a new defensive tactic, something to surpass our civilian meat shield tactic. He simply built a large wall with a small entrance. That entrance was covered with traps. All it took was one archer, and we nearly wiped out the enemy forces. The rest were finished off by our crossbowmen. Anyway, the game offered us some halberds and suggested that we use them to make some pikemen. I proceeded to sell the halberds, as well as the armor, and bought some more crossbowmen to fill up my towers with them. Speaking of towers, I pretty much destroyed most of the castle and just used the stone refunded to wall off most of the castle. Then, Lord Ben decided that 2x2 square tower is the best form of defense. The first wave arrived and they proceeded to just ignore everyone and make a beeline for the hole in the castle that I forgot to patch. Oops. Moving on, with a number of crossbowmen posted up on the towers, not a single enemy wave managed to get close to the castle walls. Anyway, time to finish off your mom. Oh god. We had to seize the same castle from earlier, except now it's properly defended and we have an even bigger army of trash. I don't think we actually killed the rat. I think Lord Ben just became the rat, because who the fuck else would siege a castle with an army of spearmen? Anyway, we convinced our spearmen to sacrifice themselves for the cause, triggering the enemy's pitch and giving my macemen a safe passage to the moat. After they managed to fill the moat, we simply broke a hole in the wall and made a beeline for the Lord. Thankfully, we don't have to kill everyone in this mission. The pig is dead, and our kingdom continues to expand.
Look, Pip, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
One more guy to go. One of his county started revolting, so we took over the castle and we had to defend it. This mission was unremarkable. The wolf sent a bunch of crab's units that were immediately obliterated before they did any damage. He didn't even make it close to the 2x2. A bit more bread economy and another county gained. We managed to take hold of a deserted castle, and we started the mission with loads of sword and plate armor. Nice. We sold all of them and we made a shitload of money. We used that money for, take a wild guess, crossbows and leather armor. And we established, yet again, our bread economy. Anyway, first wave, they took out our stone quarry and our iron mines. We'll be more prepared for the next waves. In the meantime, Lord Ben orders his knights outside the castle so they can destroy any and all siege equipment that the enemy tries to pull out. While preparing for the second wave, Lord Ben's Giga Brain starts working again and he remembers his death funnel strategy. In the meantime, we were working on repelling wave 2. The knights destroyed all siege equipment as well as any tunnels and engineers, while the crossbowmen managed to eliminate everyone before they got close to the castle. Wave 2 was repelled successfully and easy. The death funnel is now ready. The enemy arrived and our knights took care of the engineers. Meanwhile, first half of his army tried to push through the death funnel.
Let it burn!
It worked flawlessly. Any unfortunate survivors were met with a rain of hundreds of arrows. We successfully defended. The wolf retreated to his castle and challenged Lord Ben to try and take him out. However, this guy showed up and referred to himself as the king. What is this goober on about, man? Regardless, him and Sir Longarm offered us their combined forces to seize the wolf. Finally, we're actually going to have a proper siege. Really, this is their combined force. What kind of garbage is this? The wolf literally had tons of siege engines at his disposal, and I get the heavy budget cuts. Let's get this done with. So, we start by taking out their outlying towers and gates with a couple of trebuchets. I hate the limited ammo capacity. Anyway, we proceeded to yeet some cows at the survivors. Honestly, this was the most boring and slow mission I've ever played. We proceeded to convince some more of our spearmen to become fire fodder, and maybe try to fill the moat while they're at it. Somehow, These trash units actually managed to fill up the moat. That's a surprise. We lost every single one of them. Acceptable losses. Anyway, Lord Ben opted to build tons of shields, and we used the catapults and tried to maximize the damage done to the rest of the towers. After we got a breach, our archers cleared up the sides of the castle with the help of the shields. After clearing up most of the pitch, we sacrificed our macemen to clear out the final gatehouse standing between us and victory. Sadly, our only surviving units were swordsmen. 9 swordsmen. That's all we had left. We had no choice but to bum rush the Lord. I cannot believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. We actually won. Only 14% of our troops survived this fight. But that doesn't matter. We got our own country now. What? The king is back? So that schizo man from earlier is the rightful king? Everything I've done, my shady CIA dealings, the IRS, the awful sieges, the war crimes, all of that, for someone else to be king? Maybe that's fair. Maybe Lord Ben shouldn't really be king, given how we treat our population. Maybe they do deserve a happy ending after all. That remains to be seen. In either case, thank you for watching to the end. You should join our army and subscribe. I promise you won't be sacrificed.